My experience with the female chameleon. Now, when I was thinking about doing this video, I originally wanted to entitle it "How to Guard Against," or "How to Spot," or "How to Protect Yourself from a Female Chameleon." But when I thought a little bit more about it, I realized that that's really impossible to do. It really is, because women are very good actors, right? They're very subtle. How women push their program through, how women get what they want is through subtlety, right? A woman that's not subtle is kind of uncomely in a way, right? Now, I will take honesty over subtlety any day. You don't have to be, necessarily not, quote unquote, not subtle to be honest. Honest, the truth is just the truth. The truth stands on its own. But women don't really operate that way. They don't operate they don't operate on the same rules that men operate on. They really don't. And I always hear women, whenever I'm on social media, talking about red pill truths, I'm always hearing women crawl out of the woodwork to try to equate men and women. They always do this. This is probably their number one tactic when deflecting truths, when deflecting against, quote unquote, red pill attacks on them, when really the red pill isn't an attack on women, it's just the truth. They don't like the truth. This is why I always say that women work and operate through an air of subtlety. They like subtlety. And who else likes subtlety? Well, the devil, right? Who else likes subtlety? Wolves. Wolves like subtlety. Who else likes subtlety? Lions. They prefer to hunt at night instead of the day where they can be seen, right? What does that mean? Well, that means you're a predator. There's something shady about you if that's how you act and that's how you operate. But this is women. They're not going to tell you their lay count. They're not going to tell you how many guys they've slept with. They're not going to just out and tell you, all the things that will expose their true nature, all the things that will expose what they really do behind closed doors. No, they want to make you think, oh, I'm this great mother, I'm this great girl, I'm a catch, and woo woo woo. When in reality, her lay count is double digits, triple digits, right? So, but I always hear women say this. I always hear women try to equate men and women, right? And this is one of their number one tactics. Will men do it too? Or, I always meet men who do this, who do such and such thing that you're accusing women of doing. I always see men do this. Well, men do it. And what is that? That is blame shifting, and it's trying to make things equal, so therefore you're in on this with me too. And it's funny because I don't know why. Now, if you believe in God, whatever, I don't preach God, I don't pump God necessarily. I've got a couple of videos where I talk about God, but for the most part I leave God out of my videos and my talks. But it's pretty funny how in the Bible, Eve, the first thing she did after she ate the fruit was she tried to get Adam to eat the fruit. Now, there's all kinds of things wrong with what Eve did in the Bible. There's all kinds of things wrong with Eve being seduced or coerced or whatever by the serpent. First of all, she didn't hide behind Adam. She wasn't submissive. She didn't take Adam as her head. She assumed headship, meaning she took the lead to, she basically said, I do this and I do, I could do, and this is feminism to a T. Women can do whatever we want. Women are this, and look at the result. Look at the result when women are doing whatever they want, when women have the headship, when women are taking the lead like men are supposed to take the lead. Look at the result. STD numbers through the roof, abortions through the roof. Everybody's having sex. Everybody's having unprotected sex. Everybody's having premarital sex. Everybody is, out philandering around. And what are the results? 500,000 abortions per year. Maybe, you know, in the U.S. alone, maybe around the world, it's 5-10 times that. Some people say it's in the millions abortions a year around the world. I mean, you're killing babies to protect your promiscuity. I mean, what's the results of that? The ability to pair bond goes down. I read somewhere recently that there's only a 15% chance that marriages will last for a lifetime. Right? I don't know if that's accurate, but you know, it used to be that divorce was 50%, or it statistically is divorce is 50 to 60%, but I'm not sure where I read that. You know, marriage only has a 15% chance of lasting for a lifetime. I don't know about that. I need to read into that, but I know it's at least 50%, you know, divorce rate, which is basically the flipping of a coin, right? Which is crazy bad odds, right? That's not good odds at all. And for a man who gets raked over the coals in divorce court and alimony and child support and all that, it's not a good proposition, which is why men should be walking away from marriage. So the results are manifest, man. And kids growing up, single moms, kids growing up in single parent households have a much higher statistical rate to become criminals, to become mentally unstable, to become burdens of the state. This is all statistics, right? So it's not that, oh, you know, you want to, you know, women can have fun too, right? Like, you know, we can have sex too. Why is it only men that have sex? First of all, that doesn't even make sense. Second of all, because women are the gatekeepers to sex, right? You hold the power over who you have sex with. Men will have sex with a lot of different people. But anyway, I don't want to keep going off on this tangent. The point is, this is what Eve did. This is what happens when women take the headship. This is what happens. It's chaos in society. Society goes down. Immorality. And what else did she do? What else did Eve do? Right? Eve went and said, hey, Adam, eat this fruit that I just ate. So not only did she take the headship, right, to do something very evil and very wrong, which basically damaged humanity for forever since then, according to the Bible, whether you believe it or not, whatever. But the point holds true that women are still behaving like this. Women are still doing these things, right? Not only did she do that, she took the headship to do something very evil. Then she went and recruited Adam to come back, or excuse me, not to come back, but to come eat the fruit that she ate, to come do the evil thing that she did, right? And this is what women are doing. This is exactly that same picture. When I go and I post a red pill truth and say, hey, women are chasing men for their money, and a woman will come out of the woodwork and say, oh, men do it too. Men chase women for their money. Like, that's essentially what Eve is doing. What Eve did there. She's saying, hey, I ate this fruit. You come eat this fruit. She's trying to make things equal when it shouldn't be equal. Adam is the freaking head. That's the point in the Bible, right? Adam is the head. Now you could just throw the Bible out the window and say men and women are equal, blah, blah, blah. But even on paper, that's not true. Even on paper, men and women aren't equal, right? That we have different strengths. Women are nurturers. Women are more emotional. Women are more social. Men are getter-doners. We go out and we build societies. We go out and we create legislation. We create streets and cities and buildings. And what do women do? They raise children. Sorry. And now they want to, do all the things that men are doing, but they're not doing it as well, for one. But anyway, my original point here is, how to deal with a female chameleon, or my experience with the female chameleon. So I got off on somewhat of a tangent here, but here's the thing. You don't really know. You don't really know. You really don't know, unfortunately. And she can't. But I would say there are signs and hints. I made a video a while ago called "Signs of a Succubus," and that was a pretty similar video to this one. And so you could go check that video out. It's on my other channel. It really kind of details some of the behaviors and how you can sort of spot her. There's really no way to be able to tell if your girl or the girl you're seeing or whatever is a female chameleon, because they're good at it. Women are very good at it. And that was my whole point of talking about Eve and all this, is they're good at manipulating. They're good at but there are subtle hints, right? There's subtle hints. She can't keep up a facade the whole time. But the sad part is they can do very well. The sad part is they can really fool you. And because men are in a scarcity mindset, and because men are altruistic, we believe in love. We believe in that ideal love. Women believe in that opportunistic love. Women are predatory. I believe I would use this term predatory in this sense, because a woman who's looking for a guy for a long-term relationship is somewhat predatory. She is, meaning she's cutting out. She's coming at it from a nature perspective, right? The alligator doesn't give a shit that the zebra has kids. The alligator wants that meat, right? The alligator doesn't give a shit that, or I'm not the alligator, because alligators aren't from Africa, but crocodile doesn't give a shit about the wildebeest. That the wildebeest has family. He just wants that meat, you see? So women don't care about your feelings. Women don't care about your idealistic way of looking at love. They want what they want. And what do they want? They want security. They want a guy with resources. They want to be able to have kids, and they want a guy to financially back them up. Women are animalistic this way. Okay, this is why we always say in the red pill community, men love idealistically and women love opportunistically. It's animalistic to look at a long-term relationship in terms of finances, in terms of a numerical number, right? In terms of resources, in terms of how can you take care of that. That's animalistic. And to play into that is foolish. And unfortunately, many men, and I would say most men who are married or in a long-term relationship, do play into that. They do, and they just take it on the chin. Well, as a man, I gotta work. As a man, I gotta bring in these resources to provide for my family. And again, this is what I ask in almost every video I do. If you didn't have those resources, would you still have your family? If you didn't have those resources, would she still stick around with you? Or would she break off with you, call you a loser, and go try to find somebody who has better resources than you? And this is the question of questions when we're talking about love. You can say whatever you want about it, about female nature, about this and that, but when it comes to love, if she's not down with you when you don't have resources, then it isn't really love. And you can take all that Disney shit, you can take all the movies, all the altruistic romance movies and all that shit, and you can go throw them in the trash bin, because if she's not down with you and you don't have any resources, her love isn't real, point blank, period. But my thing is, I don't think any women would. I don't think any women are. I really don't. I think it's very rare because it's not female nature. It's not female nature. And you know, I grew up watching National Geographic. I've always loved nature shows, and nature's fucking brutal, man. It really is. But we're here. We're nature as well. Yet for some reason we have this. We're different, and some people say we have that God particle, we have that God essence. There's something within us that's higher than the animals. Now, I tend to believe that, but then also I look outside at the same time and I see people acting like animals. I see, you know, not everybody, not for the most part, but particularly in this vein, when you look at marriage, particularly when you look at long-term relationships. It's animalistic. It is. And it's animalistic on the female part. What are men doing? We're trying to improve our value. We're trying to get more resources. We're trying to dress better. We're trying to get in better shape. We're trying to maximize everything. Maximize our looks, maximize our finances, maximize our resources, maximize our potential future, maximize our goals. Why are we trying to do that? Because we want We're trying to attract a mate. We're doing that for attraction. We're doing that so that we can attract. And this is what, one of the worst things you can call a man is a lazy bum. Why? Because psychologically and psychosocially, our worth and value as a man is tied into what we do, our success, whether we're a success or whether we are a failure. And there's nothing more connected to that concept of success and failure than relationships. If a man is a failure in life, that's going to absolutely affect his ability to attract a mate, to keep a woman around. This is why women jump from guy to guy, because this guy's kind of a loser, or this guy's lacking in this department, or this guy's not good in this. And so they go and they find the guy for what their last guy is deficient for. And we don't call this behavior out. This is the most basic messed up thing, and we don't call it out. Only in the red pill community do we call it out, right? And they call us incels, they call us losers, they call us weirdos, right? Only in the red pill community do we call out that type of behavior, and we get attacked for it, because those who bear the truth are the ones who get the most attacked. Those who bear the most inconvenient and exposing truth about our nature as individuals and as a society are the ones who get the most backlash. Why? Because people don't like the truth about themselves, right? So, when dealing with a female chameleon, here's the thing. You can't expect to see it, to understand it often until it's too late, unfortunately. And for me, it kind of ruined me from any kind of girl, because I loved this girl, right? It ruined me from love, because I don't trust any woman now. I really don't. I just don't. I think that they are solipsistic. I think they are selfishly motivated, particularly, I think in all things, really. I think because of female narcissism and solipsism and gynocentrism in our society, women are encouraged to see everything from a selfish, subjective, narcissistic viewpoint. Everything revolves around them. Seriously. They do not give a shit about you. They do not give a shit about your dating history or your dating future, they just don't care. They don't care about your hobbies, your goals. They don't give a shit. All they care about is themselves, which is one way to be able to tell if the girl is really kind of a female narcissist or a female predator or a female chameleon. Is she inquisitive about you? Does she ask about you? Does she really care? Or is she, have you been in a 3-month relationship with her and you guys have never had a deep talk? You guys have never, this would indicate there's something about you that she wants. There's something about you that she is after. And this was my experience. I ended up being in about 3-year relationship with the girl. And we never had a deep conversation. We had fun, and we had chemistry, and we gelled, and we had great sex, and we had a great time. Great time. And that's what I missed the most, was all the great times we had. But we never got to anything deep. And it took me until later that I realized she was gaming me. She was gaming me to get something what she wanted. And what she wanted was me. She wanted me to love her. And when I finally did love her, then she lost interest, because I was too clingy or whatever. And this is the weird way that women gaslight men, the weird way that women, when you treat them like they're an option, when you don't commit to them, when you just use them for sex, they'll chase you. They want you. And, as long as they view you as high value. If they don't view you as high value, it doesn't matter how you treat them. You could treat them great or shitty, doesn't matter. If they don't view you as high value, then they're not going to have anything to do with you. But if they view you as high value, they're attracted to you, you've had sex, and you're consistently having sex, and you don't commit to them, they will chase you until forever. They will chase you until the world ends. So, but once you commit, once you really start to hug and love them and blah, 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 like, there's a good chance they're going to leave you, because that's all they wanted. They just wanted that validation And you think that it's all good, right? You think that, oh yeah, well, once I start loving it, but you think that that's what they want, but and they might even think that that's what they want, but then they realize, no way, that's not what I want. I wanted a little piece, you know. You can't give them the whole thing. You got to give them a little piece, and this is where, you know, that whole stay on your purpose thing comes in. That whole don't put a woman on a pedestal thing comes in. But here's the thing, like, I wouldn't want to do that anyways. I would want to hug and kiss my girl. I would want to tell my girl she's special. I would want to real love with my girl, but you just can't have that with these you know, narcissistic women today. So that's kind of my experience with a female chameleon, is that, you know, you really don't know their whole cards until, and here's the other thing, they will change how she acts and how she behaves around you. Now, I would recommend everybody to read a book called The Female Predator, and in the introduction, the first chapter, I believe, it's either the introduction, preface of the first chapter, the author talks about the female chameleon. He uses this term, the female chameleon, how she will mirror what you want, how she will behave like how she thinks that you want her to behave, so that you will, you know, she could get you or whatever, or she could, you would fall in love with her or whatever, and then she's gone. And then when she's got what she wants from you, she's used you or whatever for your attention or whatever, then she's gone. This is, you know, this is what happened to me. This is kind of what I want to talk about today. You know, in that, who she really is, you don't know. You know, who she really is probably some variation of what she's showing you, but really, I would say that the female chameleon and the female predator as the female chameleon is who, you know, their true character is really dubious. They don't really have a true character because their motivations are selfish, and their motivations are, you know, animalistic and out of survival. And unfortunately, so many women today, as I mentioned before, are like that. That's so much of female nature. They don't, excuse me, women don't have any motivation to be virtuous. They really don't. And the Bible talks about the virtuous woman. The Bible says in Proverbs, you know, find yourself a virtuous woman. It talks about the virtuous woman. But women today don't have they don't have any incentive. They don't have any real life reason to be a virtuous woman, because everything, you know, they're corrupted by lust. They're corrupted by all the attention they get. They're corrupted by a gynocentric society. And this is how their solipsism really takes hold, takes hook. And believe me, the parents are not raising them their parents aren't raising them very well at all. They're being raised by Kim Kardashian and MTV and porn culture, and they're corrupted by sex, and their ability to pair bond goes down the more sex they have. So by the time they hit 20, and they probably already got 50 partners, right? I'm serious, man. These girls are out fucking all the time. So I mean, you know, I'm not trying to just, you know, because it sucks having to say these things, because, you know, I don't want to demonize women, but the thing is it's just the truth. It's just the reality. You know, our culture is damaged. Our women are damaged. And what can you say? Because we have a culture that encourages women to be whores. We have a culture that encourages, you know, we prop women up on pedestals if they are sexual, right? And to an extent, you know, Mia Khalifa is kind of right when she said, "Oh, I wanted to be sexual for the attention." She's kind of right in a way, but women use that as well. So there's an incentive for both sides. There's an incentive for women to be sluts because they get attention, but it's also they get something out of it, money and validation and all the things that really kind of corrupt their lusts. But how many parents are raising them and telling them, hey, you shouldn't do that, because you should have good moral character, you should be virtuous, you should live by ethics, you should be a quality human being with a quality character. I mean, to a great extent, we're all under psychosocial attack from whatever power out there that is putting out pornography, from whatever power out there that is putting out bad rap music or bad rock and roll or satanic this, satanic that, whatever entity you want to call it, whether you want to call it Satan or whether you want to call it some negative yin and yang, whatever the fuck, there is something out there that is damaging. And if you look even in the animal kingdom, I mean, animals kill each other. That's savage. There's nothing virtuous about that. The fact that we die is savage. And this is why I believe in the Bible, because the Bible has answers for all these things, right? This is why I believe the Bible is true, because that's the best answer we got going. The atheists and the scientists, whatever, they want to claim something came from nothing. There was a big bang. The atheists and the scientists want to claim that nothing happens after we die. Well, then if that's the case, life is pointless, isn't it? We can do whatever the fuck we want, right? Or they could say, well, no, you should live a good life so that you can have a long life, and so that you could, be happy with family and kids or whatever. Well, that's kind of what the Bible says, actually, in the Proverbs and Ecclesiastes and Song of Songs and all that. It talks about that. It says you should live a quality life, but it talks about righteousness as well, right? But science doesn't look at it like that. But I would say that as a safeguard, because one of the main points I make in all my videos is that, there are consequences for all these things, and one of the biggest consequences is that women are ruined, and one of the biggest consequences for that is that the family unit is ruined, which damages society. But anyway, what I want to talk about was the female chameleon, and by the time she becomes a female chameleon, she's already damaged. There's already something wrong with her. It already took 10 years for her to get to that point. Who knows how she got there? Who knows why she's doing that? Who knows why she's selfish? Who knows why she's so narcissistic and damaged and borderline bipolar or whatever the fuck, borderline personality disorder? Why she's so, cluster B or whatever the fuck? Why she's like that? Who knows? It could be any combination. She got hurt, guys used her for sex, or she was raped, or she was molested, or who the fuck knows, right? It could be anything, and they always want to blame men. Oh, a man did that. She's like that because a man made her broken, or blah blah blah. It's like they never want to take accountability. They never want to admit that they're wrong. They never want to admit that, hey, I'm messed up. I did some messed up things. It's wrong for me to use men. It's wrong for me to do this. It's wrong for me to do that. I'm messed up. Like, nobody ever wants to admit that. They always just want to throw men under the bus. They always just want to use men. And this is where selfishness comes in. There's no love. There's no caring about it. It's always me, me, me. And this is, this is the female chameleon. She doesn't care about you. She doesn't care. She only wants what she wants for her. And if you come in the way of that, she'll gladly throw you under the bus. If you come in the way of that, she'll gladly, toss you out with yesterday's trash. Your yesterday's news, man. And this happened to me. I loved a girl, and she wanted a guy with money, or she wanted a guy for this or that, and she thought she wanted me because I was a bad boy, and then I started to love her, and then it just got all messed up. And it's a sad story. It really is. It's been the biggest thing that's hurt me in my life. It's been the biggest thing that has been motivating me to make all these videos. It's been the biggest thing that has been motivating me to go red pill, and I can't trust women because of that, and so unfortunately you don't know. I mean, there's some tells, there's some signs, like, is she a slut? Do you guys have talks? Do you guys, is she normal? But that's the thing, is how many women are normal today? Because of all the things that I mentioned, solipsism, narcissism, gynocentrism. Women are not normal. And what is normal? We don't even have a barometer for what is normal, a yardstick for what is normal for women in today's society. What is normal? Like, I would say a woman who has virtue, a woman who has character. But where is that woman? Does that woman exist? Is there a woman that's kind and not selfish? Is there a woman that really loves you for you and not your money? Is there a woman that's not plotting and planning and enjoying the fruits of being the sought after sex? The woman who's not out sleeping around every month with a new guy? The woman who really cares about you? Does that woman even exist? Like, I just, anyway. But anyways, guys, that's all I got to say. This hasn't been the most focused video. I've gone off on tangents in this video. But I hope you guys get my overall point. It's probably not the best video for the female chameleon because I didn't really focus fully on that. You got to be wary. And I would say read that book, The Female Predator. That's a great book, man. I can't recommend that book highly enough. And it talks more about this. Read that book. You gotta be wary of these women who try to meet that need or try to meet that idea of what they think you want, because they're just doing it for selfish reasons, man. And that's not what real love is. Real love is not selfish. Real love is not selfish. All right, that's all I gotta say, guys. Appreciate you listening. It's been Jay Lee, Northwest Podcast. Peace.